Hurts takes the snap. He's back. He's going to run. He's in! Touchdown! Jalen Hurts! The Eagles are just devouring the Giants. And it is A.J. Brown again! Another touchdown!
Welcome back to the Linc Lineup. This is episode 5. And we're going to talk about some preseason football once again. This time, the Eagles played the Browns, and it was an absolute barn burner. A thrilling end. Had us all on the edge of our seats until the very end. And we got plenty to talk about. We'll start off with some news, actually. Got some injury news. Zach McPherson towards Achilles, out for the year. That actually will open up a spot in the cornerback room that's already deep. So we'll be looking for another slot cornerback to back up Avonte Maddox. Moro Ojomo, I believe it was concussion, and then Tyree Cleveland had the concussion and the neck sprain, if I remember that correctly.
Damn.
Tough. I kind of predicted this last night whenever I believe me and Bryce were texting back and forth. I said he was like Moro Ojomo was waving at people as he was leaving. He looked like he was happy, so I knew nothing serious was happening. And it's the preseason, so it's okay to be like overly cautious, So, we hope those guys get better. Zach, I hope you'll be bounced back. I believe that's the second Achilles tear that we've had so far.
Yep.
Yeah, it's Sean Bradley. So that's the news so far this week. Who else got hurt? Was it Josh Andrews got hurt? But we didn't hear anything about him. And then
it was his ankle.
Yeah, but I don't think he was like actually like hurt. And then Nolan Smith, but he seems fine. He said he would have went out and played if he, if it was a regular season game. So I believe him, and it seemed like he really wanted to go back out. And that's great. So that's the news for this after this game. So with me today, as always, we got Bryce, we got Josh. You can follow them on X at I am Bryce Haynes and the Pre2. How we doing today, boys?
Doing all right, buddy. How about yourself?
Hanging in there, man. Hanging in there. So let's talk about last night's game. Obviously, the biggest story coming out of the game was Marcus Mariota, at least in my eyes, was Marcus Mariota being, what's the word I'm looking for here? Trash? Yeah, trash. Yeah. It's a walking, talking trash can. You maybe would have thought that after the first preseason game, he would at least like play with some type of, some edge to his game after watching Tanner McKee light up the Eagles' world, but he didn't. He sailed balls over receivers' heads, and the offense just seemed like it never wanted to, get going. So Marcus Mariota, I don't know what to tell you, buddy, but like I can't watch you for a regular season game. If you get in the game, I hope it's just to take a knee or just hand the ball off to Boston Scott. I can't see any passes from you in a meaningful game. So Bryce, I actually got a question for you. Do you think that Gardner Minshew would be better off with this team, or do you?
Absolutely. I'm not even gonna let you finish that, dude. Dude, Gardner was light years better than Marcus Mariota, and that doesn't even say anything good about Gardner. That says something horrible about Marcus Mariota. Like, it's not even close, man. He is so bad.
Yeah, he is bad. He is bad. I know coming into camp, the notes that we saw were intermediate to like long passes. Marcus Mariota couldn't complete them, and man, or are they true? After seeing him sell the ball over every like crossing, like intermediate crossing route, or whatever else is past 20 yards, it's just a bad look. He's cool with his feet, like we spoke about last week. Cool, it's cool, but at the end of the day, it's not going to work out. It's just funny to think about because last year we hated Gardner Minshew once he came in for the Cowboys, and what other game was it? The Saints. We lost that game. We hated Gardner Minshew, and then now
I wouldn't go put it that far on like the Cowboys game because I thought he played fine the Cowboys game. But that Saints game though, was that bad? That was real bad.
Yeah, it's like story time here. I went to that Cowboys game last Christmas Eve, and whenever we got the tickets, I was excited to see Jalen against Dak, Christmas Eve, in Dallas, wearing the all black uniforms, and then I get the notification that they're going to keep Jalen out because of the shoulder strain or whatever it was, and I remember watching Gardner Minshew getting so excited because he started off pretty hot, and then once that last pass flew out of bounds, I was like, man, I can't stand this dude. And then, of course, a couple Cowboys fans wanted to fight because they felt big and like I can't take that. So it was ultimately a bad experience there. But I'll go back with Jalen. I can't go back with Marcus, so it won't happen. So Josh, we talked about Marcus Mariota. Give me your opinion on him. Do you think he will hold on to the quarterback 2 spot going in the season, or do you think at some point he might lose it?
And if he hasn't lost it yet, I don't know what else he has to do. My dad called me last night in the middle of the game. He says, "Did you know that you can have a negative quarterback rating?" And I actually didn't. But at one point last night, I know it was like a negative 1.4 or something like that. So if that's not enough to lose the backup spot, I don't know what is. And honestly, even if he was playing as expected, because I feel like he's kind of underperformed given what we thought when we signed him. Tanner McKee definitely is, I think, earned the second spot from what he's shown through the first 2 preseason games. I'd feel much more confident with him in the backup role. Yeah,
and the thing with Tanner McKee, and the thing I've read, and it seems like a consensus theme among the beat writers that we have, is they're not just going to give, even if Tanner McKee outperforms Marcus Mariota, throughout preseason and into the year, they're not just going to give Tanner McKee the role because they put so much money. Granted, it's not a lot of money, when you think about it, but $5 million into Marcus Mariota. They're not going to just put him at the 3rd string quarterback. It's just not the way the world works. So the ideal world is that, Jalen doesn't get hurt, obviously, and then we don't have to see Marcus, right? And then going into next year, Tanner McKee will take that backup quarterback spot. But I can see if there is a world where Jalen gets hurt, he misses significant time. I can see a world where Marcus goes in, plays awful, and they pull him for Tanner McKee. And then from that point forward, Tanner McKee is the backup quarterback. So, looking at the stats from last night, Marcus Mariota 9 for 17, 86 yards, went 1 interception. The thing is, I believe, who was it? Zacchaeus? I think he had that catch. It was I think it was a screen. He took it 17 yards. So there's 17 of his 86 yards right there. He didn't really push that ball out downfield. Everything was, a little short game, which is what he excels at. But ultimately, if the Eagles are down and we need him to step up, I can't see him in a position to win us the game, given that circumstance. Tanner McKee, a lot better in my opinion. 10 for 18, 147, 1 touchdown. I believe he played better than his stats would lead on. 10 for 18 isn't terrible by any means, but he had a couple of drops. Tyree Cleveland dropped that pass, which he hurt himself. We don't want to dig too deep into that one, but he dropped one. Was Deion Kane dropped one?
Devin Allen dropped one.
Devin Allen, thank you, dropped one. So he's not playing with the ones, and neither is Marcus Mariota. So let's look at it like that as well. So who knows what their numbers would be with the ones? I can't see Marcus improving too much just because he can't throw the ball downfield. So, as like with me, I think Tanner McKee will be the backup quarterback in the future. This year, the Eagles are just going to give the keys to Marcus Mariota and just pray to God that Jalen doesn't get hurt. So, yeah, quarterbacks, fun. Ian Book didn't play a snap. You know what that means?
Yes. See ya, dude.
See ya. He'll be out of here. He'll. I don't know if we'll find a way to stash him on the practice squad. I know that what I've heard is the Eagles like him. They like him in the quarterback room, but it's to be seen if he ends up making the practice squad. So I'll move on to running backs. Running backs were they were there. Rashad Penny had a 16-yard rush. That was pretty exciting. He looked a
little slow, but
yeah. And like we said last week, I think he's just kind of getting back into the swing of things. So I'm not going to hold it against him. If I fractured my leg, I probably would be hesitant to stick my foot in the dirt and try to cut. So I feel you. But two carries, 18 yards. That's 9 yards a carry. Can't complain at all. Kennedy Brooks, I honestly can't remember a rush from him.
What?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
He played all right last night. He didn't do bad.
It was getting late, and I was getting tired, and I don't have time for Kennedy Brooks in my life. 7 carries, 26 yards. That's almost 4 yards to rush. That's cool. I'm not gonna make the team. And then I guess we'll talk about Kenneth Gainwell. Kenneth Gainwell got tackled, safety. You guys remember that. This whole week I heard that he was this great short yardage back, and it's funny because he got tackled for a loss. I think he's a good short yardage back, but it's just funny. I like it, especially the people that were saying that he would be our number one. How's that game for you? Yeah. And then Boston Scott had 1 carry for -1 yards. I don't remember him playing. I remember him in there, but I don't remember him actually carrying the ball.
Remember him in there, to be honest.
Yeah. And the hot topic of the town, Trey Sermon, 5 carry, 54 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 fumble. 1 fumble. And which of those 2 are the coaching staff going to remember? The fumble. They're not going to remember that touchdown. You got 2 touchdowns this preseason, but they're going to remember that fumble. You are right there alongside Kennedy Brooks. So Josh, given everything that we stats wise we've given about the running backs, what do you make of this situation? Who shined to you, or did we even have anybody shine at all?
I mean, if it wasn't for that fumble, I would say that Trey Sermon, he had a solid game. I know he had 5 carries for 54 yards. He had that 1 long run. I forget how long it was, but like you said, that fumble's definitely. I think it was the touchdown. Yeah.
So I think it was 33 yards.
I think it was. Yeah, I knew it was in the 30s. Yeah, but like you said, the coaching staff's definitely going to remember that fumble. I mean, that's just the kind of thing you can't have happen, especially in the preseason when you're. I mean, I wouldn't say he's fighting for a roster spot. I think he's going to make the roster, but when you're trying to get a bigger share of the carries than he's probably going to get, you just can't have that. I mean, so Rashad Penny just to bounce around a little bit. Like you said, I mean, he's probably still getting his feet back under him. Coming back off the off that broken leg. I mean, it's promising to see 2 for 18's good. Yeah, I mean, I think he just needs more reps, and just as he gets more comfortable, we'll start to see more out of him, definitely. And then just last, I want to touch on Kenneth Gainwell. I mean, I think he's a good short yardage back, but I think that's not. I think it's more because he's good at finding a hole when it's there. On that safety, I don't think it was there. I think he just got kind of swallowed up, and he's not the biggest guy. He's not the kind of break tackles with his physicality. So if it's not there, there's not a whole lot he can do.
Yeah, and to touch on the Kenneth Gainwell thing, I can't remember who said it. I think I was listening to BGN Radio. I think Jimmy Kempsky said it. I may be wrong, but Kenneth Gainwell only has like one rush over 20 yards in his whole career. Maybe I'm wrong, but he's not like this explosive back that some people make him out to be. Like I said, he was very explosive against the Giants in the playoffs. He was very explosive, but overall, he's just not that player that some fans like picture him out to be. One of my favorite things about the show is I have Bryce alongside me, and for those of you who don't know Bryce, he was a top 10 recruit in high school. He played running back, so there's nobody better to talk about running backs with than Bryce. So Bryce, after your experience in high school being this top 10 recruit, what can you tell me about the running back situation we have in Philadelphia right now?
Well, a couple things. I think a lot of the running backs that we got in our room they all do the same thing. I don't know. They're all Boston Scott, DeAndre Swift, Kenneth Gainwell. Them three in total you view them as change of pace backs. And then obviously you got Rashad Penny and Trey Sermon. They're bigger backs. I can't remember. Can't think of how much they weigh off the top of my head, but they're a lot bigger than the other three backs that we got on our roster. And but the thing is, they could all bust a run at any point in time. Like they could all hit a home run at any time. And I don't know. It's going to be interesting what it comes down to when it comes to final 53. I don't think anybody's really moved their stock up or down.
All right. Full disclaimer: Bryce was not a top 10 recruit in high school, but he was top 10 to me. But yeah, it'll be interesting. Buddy. Yeah, no problem. It'll be interesting to see when it comes to the final cuts. You know how he views Trey Sermon, because in my mind, and we'll get to our 53-man roster projection the next maybe Sunday. I can't remember. Maybe next Sunday. But it'll be interesting to see like where Howie is and how he views Trey Sermon, because in my mind, the four guys that are locked in are DeAndre Swift, Rashad Penny, Kenneth Gainwell, Boston Scott. However, there is that little bit of me that's like, hey, Boston Scott's not a lock to make the team, and Trey Sermon could sneak in there. But like I don't know. I think the fumble will be like the one thing they remember. And if it comes down to it, and you need somebody, maybe Rashad Penny's gas, right? And you just need a bigger back. Can they trust him in that situation to carry the ball and to get those short yardages that they might need? Who knows? So it'll be interesting to see.
I don't know, to kind of make Trey Sermon sound a little bit better. Last night when that fumble happened, I don't think that was just so much as his fault. I just think the defender did a really good job of getting that ball out. Like, that was a perfect punch of the ball. Like, you couldn't ask for a better one. And like, he had the ball high and tight, tucked, and he just kind of punched it right on it. It was like, it was weird because you could tell like how the ball came out of his arm. Like, it shot out of his arm. Like, he punched it pretty damn hard to get that ball out. So I'm not going to discredit him too much for it, but at the same time, it's still a fumble. It's still going to show up on the box score.
Yep. Hey, 2 hands on the rock. Almost cuss. We're trying not to cuss in this show anymore, so I caught myself. We'll move on to tight ends and wide receivers. I feel like the tight ends had a better performance, but
how about Brady Russell, baby?
Brady Russell. 1 catch, 22 yards, 1 touchdown. I don't know anything about Brady Russell, but other than he has a nice head of hair. Congratulations on that.
You got a funny celebration too.
I mean,
I don't know if you seen it last time, but it's pretty funny.
Here's the funny thing. Caitlin was showing me TikToks as the game was going, and I was like trying to go back and forth, but trying to entertain her and entertain the game, and I missed it because of TikTok time. But hey, it's all good. I'll go back and look at it. But like I said, the tight ends kind of showed up, and better than what they did week 1, but it's not who you think it would be. It wasn't Grant Calcaterra. It wasn't Jack Stoll. It was Tyree Jackson and Brady Russell. Probably the 4th and 5th tight ends on the team. Actually, 5th and 6th because Dan Arnold, I guess. What did Dan Arnold do? I know he had a catch. Yeah,
2 for 14.
Yeah, 2. Okay. Ooh. Heck yeah, Dan. But yeah, it's just Tyree went 2 for 41. And then like we mentioned, Brady Russell had the 1 catch for 22 yards that turned into a touchdown. It's nice to see tight ends kind of stepping up and just kind of showing that they have something there. But man, Grant Calcaterra, I can't. We're talking about this now. He was a lock for me from the beginning of training camp to right now. I don't know if he's a lock at this moment because the one good thing he has is his receiving abilities, and he just hasn't shown any of the receiving abilities yet. And he's playing.
I don't think that's his fault though, because every time he's in there, he's playing with Marcus Mariota.
Yeah,
and they take him out after that. Marcus has sailed so many passes to him where he's wide open. There's been multiple I've seen.
Get bigger than them. But I mean, yeah, you're right that Marcus Mariota is not doing some of these players any favors. But I mean, like I said, he's gonna catch something. He had 3 targets. I'm sure one of them was the one where Marcus did throw it way over his head. But he's getting some looks, and he's just not making anything of these opportunities. And I feel like I don't know. Between him and Jack Stoll, I think they value the blocking of Jack Stoll more than Grant Calcaterra's receiving. So it wouldn't surprise me if Grant doesn't make the team. So
what other route do they go though?
I guess Tyree Jackson. I mean he's bigger and he can block in the pinch.
He's probably more athletic.
Yeah, I mean, have you seen him?
Oh yeah.
Have you seen him? He's tall and he can move, and he's a bigger target. So I think he had more potential. I don't know. It's gonna be weird. I hope we pick up a tight end somehow, some way. I don't know who's available right now, but
Tyler Eifert doing nowadays.
We're not doing that. Maybe we trade for Zach Ertz again. I don't know. That'd be nice.
Be cool, I guess.
Bring him home. We'll go to receivers real quick too, and then we'll kind of talk about them all as a collective unit. Joseph Ngata had 3 for 39.
Oh God.
Oh man. What a time. I don't remember it. I really don't. The one person that kind of stood out to me was Johnny King. He had 1 reception, 21 yards, and then he had the 2-point conversion. Johnny King he doesn't get a lot of
his
chances.
reception was in a big spot though. Like they absolutely needed a first down, and they got it.
Yeah, but
to be fair though, nobody was around him when he caught the ball, and nobody thought to just touch him while he was still down. But
Deion Kane dropped the wide open pass too. Like at least he's catching them, But whatever. Devin Allen showed up, and he had he did things. He ran. That's about all I can say. Deion Kane was a disappointment. He had 3 targets, and I believe he probably had 2 drops. But
little thing about Devin Allen, for all the people out there hoping that he makes the roster as a punt returner, by the way, they had Justin Evans return punts before they had Devin Allen do it. So that should tell you all you should need to know.
But Justin Evans looked like Deion Sanders. So the way he held the ball, dude, he had the 2 hands right here. I was ready for him to start high stepping.
I'm not gonna say what I said in the group chat about that with your comment that you just said, but it was not good. I'll go ahead and say that.
He got a decent amount of yards.
He fumbled when he got hit.
Yeah, but I mean he got 20. He had 21 yards. No, 15. My bad. He got 15 yards. That's great.
He fumbled, Chase. If he fumbled anyway, it rolled out of bounds. But if it's anywhere else on the field and he fumbles it, we probably lose that ball.
Who cares? But I mean, that's about it as far as like notable players. Greg Ward had 3 for 29.
That's just the guy that he's just reliable, man. Love Greg Ward.
Yeah,
he needs more recognition on his team.
I mean, he was definitely
he's a trooper.
Whenever we had the dark days of all the bad receivers we don't talk about, but he was always there, and it's sad because he has no chance making the team, but he was there. So
he got a better chance than Joseph and Gatto.
Both nah. Not a chance. He can't play outside. We need a backup outside receiver more than the slot.
Johnny King. There you go.
I mean, he's 6'5". He definitely is 6'5". I'll give him that. Throw it up there and hope he goes get it. So, me and Bryce talked a lot about these guys so far. Josh, who was your standout performer from this group, tight ends and wide receivers? And why should they make the team?
I don't know if he was the standout guy, but I'd love to see a couple of catches out of Tyree Jackson. I'm just a big fan of those freak athletes. I think he's like 6'7".
Something.
He's 6'7".
He can move. I think he was a former quarterback too, right?
He was.
Yeah. University of Buffalo.
That's right. Yeah, he might not make the roster, but I hope we at least keep him on the practice squad, if nothing else, just to keep developing him. I think he's been with the organization for a couple of years now.
He shows up in regular season games at weird times too. Like there'd be some like goal line work or something, and next thing you know, you're like, "Oh, there's Tyree Jackson on the field. I ain't seen him since training camp. Where'd he come from?" But I think he'll be all right.
Yeah, we'll see. He might stick around. You just touched on Greg Ward. Probably won't make the team. There were years where I think he should have made the team and didn't during the dark ages of our receiver room. But fun fact, he was the first person Jalen Hurts threw a touchdown to in the NFL. So
that is always right. There in the Green Bay game.
Always there.
That was a dot too. That was on the money.
Mm-hmm. I think it was like 4th and 18 too. It was
I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember it. I don't remember.
Really? They've been.
If you saw it, you'd remember it. If you saw it, you'd be like, "Oh yeah, I remember that." But yeah, hopefully we can keep him on the practice squad for depth. Injuries happen. Hopefully no more, but you got to account for it. Grant Calcaterra though, I think he's probably. I know he hasn't had a great preseason and definitely didn't have a great game yesterday, but I think he's kind of already in that category of like to kind of already have him slotted in as that, to make the roster. So I don't think they're overly concerned. I don't think he's really fighting for a spot at this point. Kind of similar to like how, Boston Scott had 1 rush for -1 yards, but I don't think that matters. Or like Gainwell 2 for 6. Like, I don't know. We'll see. But I think, especially considering, I think he's still under contract for another year after this one. So we'll probably factor that in too.
Yeah. Just watch the play. I do remember it now. Right. It was a good pass.
It was a good pass.
And it is kind of weird looking back at like the first year and watching Jalen run around in the number 2. Like I was there for it. I remember it, but I don't remember it because if I remember correctly, he came in a lot as like this gadget quarterback that first year, and
yeah, it was not good.
It was we didn't know what we had, man. Now look at us now.
He was supposed to be like our Taysom Hill kind of.
Yeah. People. That was the immediate of like when he got drafted. He was like, "Oh, he could play like a Taysom Hill role." I'm like, "You don't draft Taysom Hill in the second round." Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, but I mean, he's probably better than Taysom Hill. You see that catch last night? It was good.
He got hands.
It was. Hey, no tape.
It's crazy when your quarterback 1 is also your wide receiver 1 and cornerback 1.
Yeah.
Same play.
No tape on his hand, no glove. He probably had to stick him, but whatever. What a great guy. I love him to death. I guess the next thing we can talk about is offensive line. Obviously, like there's no stats.
We don't need to spend too much time on this. Okay. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you they're bad. Not good.
It was rough. I don't even remember like a good Tyler Steen like rep. Maybe you do, Bryce, but I don't remember one. I really don't.
I don't think he did that good last night.
I don't think anybody did good.
Nah.
I think Josh Sills got killed. Tyler Steen got beat a couple times.
Josh Andrews kind of held his own until he got hurt.
Jack Driscoll, bad.
Really?
Yeah. He should be bad.
I guess I may not remember him even being in the game. I don't know.
He was there. He was right tackle.
I was definitely watching the offensive line as a collective unit instead of just watching one person, but they were all getting beat. They were all getting blown off the ball and everything.
Yeah, it just wasn't a good performance. I don't like talking about bad performances because it makes me sad. And that's bad. That's bad performance. Anything you want to add, Josh? Because I know Bryce wants to get through this one, and I don't want to be sad anymore. So,
no, not much to say. I think you guys summed it up pretty well.
Yeah,
not much to talk about.
You just don't want it to be like a bad performance because we got Stoutland as a coach, and you believe. Like I said last week, you believe no matter what happens, it'll be good. And it was. You got
the greatest. You got the greatest position coach probably in the NFL in total, but at the same time, he can only do so much. If you're bad at football, you're bad at football. He can't do much better. I mean, you know what I mean? Like he can't help some people out.
Yeah, I think ultimately, Tyler Steen will be fine. I can't guarantee anybody else, to be honest. I can't. Jack Driscoll, we've seen Jack. I think this is his fourth year with us. We've seen him start at right tackle sometimes. He's not bad. He's not great, but in a pinch, he'll do. But other than that, it was bad.
He'll hold his own in regular season games, but for some reason he sucks in preseason.
And I do think there is like this mentality that it is preseason, and it's not just with us fans; it's also with the players too. Because I'm not gonna bust my tail in a preseason game. I'm not unless I'm on the bubble. If I'm on the bubble, I can bet you right now I'm 110%. More than I've ever done before in my life. I'm gonna do. But on the flip side, we'll talk about defensive line real quick. Couple of little standout performances from some people. Nolan Smith, good showing. Pretty good showing. He didn't get a sack, which is what you want him to do, but
a couple pressures though. He had a few.
He did, and then he play he got hurt on. He stopped the run. Right, it was a run play.
Yeah, it was like a little jet sweep reverse kind of thing.
He held his own, and then got lit up by who was it?
Keeley.
Oh yeah, Keeley. Yeah, we'll talk about him later. A couple things I gotta say about him.
But I want to hit on Nolan for just a second. Just one little key point. What was really like, what I took away from Nolan last night was he was going up against somebody a lot bigger than him. Like he was going up against DeJuan Jones. He's a rookie out of Ohio State. That dude's like 6'7", almost 400 pounds. Like that guy.
He's like Jordan Davis for like my Mailata size. Like he's a monster.
Yeah, he's a mountain of a man, and he towers over Nolan. And there was a couple refs from Nolan where Nolan hit him with like a long arm move, and DeJuan couldn't do really anything about it. Like it was like a long arm, like speed rush move, and Nolan was whooping him.
Yeah.
So that kind of shows you he can play that position. He can play the end and not have to worry about size.
Yeah, he'll be fine. He'll be fine. You know who I forgot to talk about when the injuries happened? Hassan Reddick had thumb surgery.
I'm not too worried about that.
I'm worried about it. What if it's longer than week 1, dude?
Dude,
it doesn't matter. We got Nolan Smith. Anyway, we'll move on. Jalen Carter played, didn't record a stat. To be honest, I don't really remember a rep where he was like what he was last week. And that's fine. It happens. Jordan Davis played. Man, something about Jordan Davis just kind of makes me kind of...
Is it scaring you yet?
A little bit. And I don't like saying it because we were also... I mean, you got the shirt on. We were all high on him. But like he just it is what it is. But I mean, ultimately, his bread and butter is stopping the run. So you're not going to see a sack. You're not going to see a quarterback hit. You're going to see some tackles. But he didn't even record a tackle last night. Who else?
See, I don't know if that's right though, because I very distinctly remember him on a run play. It may have been a combined tackle, not a solo tackle, but he was in on a couple plays. And I know one of particular that he was, but I don't know.
I think he'll be fine. I have faith. I
think it goes back to what we were talking about a couple episodes ago, like with people's expectation towards him, of him just being like this monster, like pass rusher or something like that. That's just not what he is. It's not what he's gonna be. He's gonna be a run stopper and clog up the middle, which I can understand people wanting to put a bigger expectation on him because he was the 13th overall pick in the draft 2 years ago. But you got to understand what they were looking for when they drafted him and what the organization sees him as. You can't put perspective and expectations on a player that the own organization probably doesn't have for him.
Right. And like I said, his bread and butter is stopping the run, and that's what. Whenever
he's good at it too.
Yeah, whenever you look at these reps, that's what you want to look at is he taking up two guys to open up a tackle for somebody else. And that's ultimately how you want to judge them. I know that everybody and their mothers will be talking about tackles or just stats in general, and you're not going to get that from them, and that's okay. Like I said, like we said last week, that's okay. It is what it is. Continuing along the defensive front. I think the biggest winner last night was Moro Ajomo. Big winner, big time guy. I think he was a steal. We talked about it last night, Bryce. He was a steal. He was definitely a steal.
He had a draft grade a lot higher than where he went. Like they had him kind of rated as like a fourth round, late fourth to like a very early fifth round player, and he fell all the way to the seventh. And I'm loving what I'm seeing from Moro, man. Like I said last night to you, Chase, when we were texting, he's slowly climbing my like rookie rankings right now up to like the Nolan Smith, Jalen Carter range. Really, I think he's probably the third right now because I can't really think of another rookie so far that's like standing out to me, but I'm very excited what I can see from Moro. I think he could be a very, very good rotational piece in that first team.
Yeah, when you said Moro, I don't know why I went towards Nicholas Moro, and I was like, no, we talked trash about him for the past couple of weeks. You can't be excited for him. But Josh, is there anybody from the defensive front that maybe you want to talk about that maybe we missed, or you want to add something to what we already talked about?
I just want to add on to Nolan Smith, man. I mean, I think he's going to be an absolute monster, regardless of size. I mean, just his athleticism and his speed. I mean, when he dips that shoulder trying to get around the edge, when he gets going, I think, and gets some more reps under his belt, he's going to be a real problem.
He will be, and it's going to be exciting to watch him grow into a player that he's going to end up being. And like everybody has said, commentators, beat writers, Philly fans are going to love him. I already love him. He just brings the energy that you want. There is actually one more thing I want to talk about before we move on to linebackers is Janarius Robinson. I remember this one play, and Bryce knows what I'm talking about. It was, I forgot, it was like second quarter maybe. We had pressure on the quarterback. I don't know who it was at the time. And like the running back started to like slip out of the backfield because to be a check down. And, Robinson was in pursuit of the quarterback and saw the running back just right in front of him. And instead of like saying, forget the running back and go for the quarterback, he just lights up the running back and says, forget about the quarterback. And I was like, who was that? And I figured out later on who it was. I like that. I get it. You want to hit somebody. Why not? Just go for it. But
so
It was hilarious.
That was actually the very first series of the game. Like that was the first drive. It was when DTR was still in at quarterback for the Browns and ran a read option, and Janarius Robinson just completely forgot about the quarterback. And like you said, he absolutely leveled the running back. It just blew him up. Didn't care where the quarterback was doing, where he was going, nothing. He was like, I'm just going to take this running back's head off right now.
I remember I was texting Bryce. I was like, who was that? And like you said, we found out later on who it was, and that's funny. That's funny, man. That's you love to see that type of effort in preseason, man. Just forget the fundamentals of ball and just hit somebody. I like it. He's not making the team.
I wanted to point out one person, Teron Jackson.
Oh yeah, I forgot about him.
He had a really good game last night. Him and Morrow were consistently getting pressure. Besides the whole Kellen Mond, the greatest 6-yard run I've ever seen in my life. That guy broke 6 tackles from defensive tackles to defensive linemen to linebackers. He was breaking tackles all over the place. Besides that, Morrow and Teron Jackson, they had a really good night last night.
They did. I totally forgot about Teron Jackson. He had a great game. That play we won't talk about because that's the play that Morrow Jumbo got hurt. Yeah. I forgot who hit him that time. Was it Kayvon?
It was that Trey McCollum. He's a corner that's not gonna make the team.
I thought it was safety. Was he safety?
Safety, corner, whatever. Don't matter.
We don't care enough about you, so you're not gonna make the team. Sorry about it, bud. Please don't use a sound bite later on when you make the team. Moving on to we'll talk about the linebackers real quick. I know the hot topic is Nakobe Dean. However, my hottest topic is Zach Cunningham. Zach Cunningham, he pretty much solidified his starting spot opposite of Nakobe Dean, I think. And what a strong showing it was. Josh, I'm curious to think, what did you make of the performance from the linebackers? And did Nakobe Dean do enough, to move the needle for you?
Overall, I mean, it was good to see Zach Cunningham step up and hopefully lock in that starting spot with Nakobe Dean. I still have some questions, obviously, about our linebackers, and I still think it's our weakest position, but it seems like it's a little more stable now. At least we have a better idea, at least, of who's starting, if nothing else. Nakobe Dean, I mean, it didn't really move the needle for me. I have probably even slightly unrealistically high expectations for him.
I think we all did.
We probably all do. But so, I mean, yeah, it's like when he doesn't do well, it's like, oh, well, he just needs more time. But when he does do well, it's like, I'm like, oh, yeah, this is what he's supposed to do. Like,
he's Ray Lewis. He's the next Ray Lewis. That's what I said.
I hope so. I love it. But, yeah, I mean, I would say, I'd say you didn't move the needle, but the needle was pretty high. So that's not a knock on him at all. That's just, I have high expectations.
No, and after watching him play 17 snaps against the Titans, I had high expectations for him too. And so, it's gonna be fun to watch. It's gonna be interesting to watch how this linebacker room ends up being. Bryce, I know you want to talk about Nakobe Dean and Zach Cunningham, so the floor is yours, buddy.
Well, I'm going to start with Zach Cunningham because I'm going to take a little bit more time in depth with Nakobe. But like you said, Chase, I can't see – this is the best way that I can put it. I can't see another linebacker in our linebacker room has proved themselves enough to play opposite to Nakobe Dean, if that makes sense. That's like Zach has played well, but at the same time, nobody else has done anything to stop Zach from having that spot. Right. What was weird to me is Miles Jack barely played last night.
He played in the fourth quarter. Like deep in the fourth quarter.
I didn't understand that. But I could understand it when I actually broke it down. Like earlier this morning, I watched it back, and Miles Jack looks like he ain't got nothing left in the tank, man. His instincts are off is what I was whatever he's keying on in their defense is not what he's supposed to key on. He is going the complete opposite direction sometimes. He's getting washed over by blockers.
Well, yeah, he just graduated plumbing school.
But at the same time, I can't really knock them because they got like 4-string defensive linemen that are just getting blown off the ball. So if I'm a linebacker in that instance, hell, I can't see where I'm supposed to be going either. But I got somebody in my face. Yeah. But I think Zach is your starter. I hadn't seen enough from tomorrow. Ben Van Sumeren, he was a long shot. Played all right last night, though. I'll give him that. Played
Practice
all right.
Practice squad guy.
But I think Zach Cunningham is your guy opposite of Nakobe. And with that being said, kind of bold statement here by me, bold prediction. If Zach Cunningham starts all 16 games, he's going to be your leading tackler on the team.
We play 17 now.
17, 16, don't matter. Anyways, that's your lead tackler. But Nakobe, let me say this real quick. If my dog will shut up. I think everybody is going to take what happened last night with Nakobe and that forced fumble, and they're going to run with it. But they are going to completely forget, like, the first couple plays of that series, he was getting cooked. Like, he was getting cooked on some pass coverage. And then another thing with that fumble, unpopular opinion, he got lucky. He got lucky that he caused that fumble because he flew through there, and that was a missed tackle. If there's any other running back in that game, that's a missed tackle, and he ain't even getting close.
Yeah, that's funny because I thought the same thing. I still want to say it. And I don't want to say it because I don't want this to be the soundbite that people use later on whenever Nakobe Dean's an All-Pro. I think he got lucky. I think he did get lucky. However, you said that we're going to take this play and run with it. I think that's okay because this play is exactly what Nakobe Dean's good at. This is what he excels at, is stopping the run and blitzing. Zach Cunningham's not great in pass coverage, but last night, guess what? He was good. He showed that he's at least competent in pass coverage, and that's what we needed to see. So, yeah, Nakobe Dean has a lot of work to do. He has a lot of work to do. But, it'll be interesting to see how he grows throughout the year because he still has time to get better. He's still young, and he's a smart guy. That's what his scouting report says. He relies on his smarts and instincts to make him the player that he is. And so, I'm not down on him. I'm not as high as everybody is on him, but it's good. It was a good performance. But he is going to be the next Ray Lewis. Book it. Hall of Fame career coming. And I'm only saying that because I have his autograph card, and I really need him to make the Hall of Fame, so that thing is expensive. Talk about cornerbacks next. Cornerbacks. The young guys had a terrible performance. All of them. I don't think I can think of one cornerback that had a good game last night, other than maybe
Mario Goodrich.
Yeah, I don't say Goodrich, but Eli Ricks.
Cooked.
Who else? Keeley lost.
Yeah, I don't know where he's at on the field. Mekhi Gardner, he got cooked a couple times. I've seen that. But yeah, Keeley, we gotta do something.
I don't think Josh Jobe played, did he?
Yeah, he did. He played the first series. Didn't even throw his way. Didn't even look his way. So you know what that means?
Joe Island.
Good job.
Josiah Scott sucks. And you know what the best part is? He's going to make the team because Zach McPherson went down. And that irritates me beyond belief. Give it to Mario Goodrich. But they're going to give it to Josiah Scott. I'm already mad about it. I'm getting it out now. So whenever it happens, I'll be over it. Greedy Williams.
Cooked.
Awful. I had high hopes for him too. I had high hopes.
He should have flew his ass back to Cleveland when they left.
But I mean,
the team played with them.
Yeah, might as well. It's familiar. But like, I don't have anything nice to say about the cornerbacks from last night. It wasn't good. I know we all know Keeley is like this. He's like this project player that he has like the skills, but he's just not an NFL player just yet. And while that's cool, we've had a lot of those in the past, and they haven't turned out well. The last one being, I forgot his name, linebacker. What was his name? Help me out here. Went to the Bears. He's went to the Bears.
Taylor.
Oh, Davion Taylor.
Davion Taylor. Yes, dude. I don't know why I forgot about him. I cannot remember his name, but like athletic freak, but it didn't translate to NFL player, and so I think Keely isn't like in the same like realm as Davion Taylor, but I do think that he isn't this polished player yet, and it's going to take him a long time to get there. Especially, he might need glasses because he lost the ball. He just lost the ball. So the first thing I would check is his eyesight.
Imagine that though. Yeah. Being an NFL player with goggles on.
But look. I will say this. I will say this. I guarantee that ball is a lot harder to see at nighttime than college ball, just because it doesn't add the spot like the little white lines on the end of it. So you might
joke that same way it happened with Jamar Chase in preseason. Remember that? Like when he was a rookie, he couldn't catch. He had like 12 drops in the preseason, and then they asked him why, and he was like, "I can't see the ball."
Yeah.
He's like, "I literally can't see the ball because it didn't have the white lines on it or whatever."
And look at Jamar Chase. He's arguably a top 5. He's not arguably. He's a top 3 receiver in the league. So you know what that means, Keely Ringo?
Whoa.
Top 3.
We just need to get him a prescription visor.
Yeah, there you go. Wait, you don't think Jamar Chase is top 3?
No.
Who do you think is top 3?
Devontae Adams, Tyreek Hill, and
Jefferson.
Yeah.
No, take Tyreek out. Put Jamar Chase in.
I'm putting AJ Brown top 3 before I put Jamar Chase.
I'm not doing that. As a realistic Eagles fan, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that.
I don't see it.
I don't think I am either, but I am putting Tyreek above him. I'd rather have Tyreek all day.
No. All right, you know what? We'll move on. Keely Ringo will be a top 5 cornerback, based on Bryce's words right there. Does anybody?
How does that translate to anything?
Moving on. Does anybody want to add anything about the cornerback group before we move on to the safeties? Because overall, I think we all share the same opinion. They were bad. There's nothing to talk about when it comes to positivity about this cornerback group. That is so deep, but they all suck last night. Anything? The floor is there. Anybody else's? Bryce, no. Josh, you got anything you want to add?
I mean, they're deep, but like they're deep with mediocrity. So like those kind of players are never going to be consistent. Yeah. They're going to have their off nights. Just happened to all happen at the same time last night.
Yeah,
that's why they're backups. So.
Yeah, and I will say I do think we all, as the Eagles fan base, overreacted, and we're like, yeah, we're so deep at cornerback. We're like 8 deep, and these guys can be starters on different teams. No, they're not. In fact, they're all going to be able to make it to the practice squad because nobody's going to pick them up on waivers if we do come.
Oh my gosh, Jake, you are completely down on these guys.
No, I mean I'm overreacting. It's not Feel Good Friday. It's Overreaction Friday, and that's where we're at. Like Eli Ricks is cool, but he got the guy spun him around. He was dancing with him, and so like that's not good.
To be fair, whoever that receiver is for the Cleveland Browns is fixing to be a Hall of Famer based off one game.
Yeah. That's Quez Watkins, like little bro or something. I don't know. Like I guess like the only good player, like solid player out of that group was Mario Goodrich, and I mean whatever.
Josh Jobe just because he didn't get thrown at, but
he didn't even play the majority of the game, or even like a quarter of the game. He played like 1 series, 2 series. So
that's why I think training camp practices mean a lot more than the actual game, though. Like, especially in his case, you see 1 series out of him, he doesn't even get thrown at, but like all week long, all Josh Jobe's stock is like skyrocketing. Like he played really good in the practices, apparently.
He's gonna take Darius Slay's job in about week 7. Like it's bound to happen. We'll move on to safeties. That last segment with the cornerbacks, don't take anything I really said serious. Take what you think is serious. We'll call it serious at that point. But everything else that you think I'm lying about, don't take it serious. Safeties. Kayvon Wallace played like the 4th quarter.
He played the whole game.
Yeah. So who knows right now? Because is Sidney Brown going to be starting?
I hope so.
I think a lot of us hope so because he's fun to watch. Now, I will say
He was
this.
kind of quiet last night.
Yes, he was quiet. And I will say this. I did see him like over pursue like 2 or 3 different plays. And that's cool. You know, it's something to learn from. And it's going to be good because he's going to watch it back on tape and be like, I over pursued. It's tough because like who's going to start alongside Reed Blankenship? And Reed's solid. Reed had a great week against the Browns.
Reed is about to be a Hall of Famer based off of his week of practice.
Yeah, the Mayo Missile jersey is coming to a podcast near you. I promise you, I'm going to get it. But I mean, has Terrell Edmonds shown enough to be starting safety? Has Kayvon shown enough? Has Sidney shown enough? Has Justin Evans shown enough? Justin Evans is a great punt returner, not a good safety. I'm just, dude, you know I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But like in all seriousness, who stood out? And Sidney Brown was quiet, had a great first game. He's getting first team reps now. I don't know. That's fun to watch.
Let somebody's ass up at practice.
Yeah,
started a fight.
But like, he's gonna be fun to watch, and I'm excited to go watch him play whenever the time comes. So whenever he gets on the field and you see him run around he honestly looks like a toddler compared to everybody else. You know,
he's so just small.
Yeah, but he's small, but he's huge. You know, so he's just fun.
Like
Mighty Mouse
chasing a laser pointer.
That's a perfect example of like what he is. He'll go one way and be like, oh, the play's over there, and he'll make it back over there and time for the tackle. Yeah. So like that's cool, but also I will say this: I did see some reps where he was in pass coverage, he didn't do bad, and that's what we need. That's what we need to see. So he's not going to have these non-tackle games every game, but if he's not making a lot of mistakes, then that's good because the biggest knock on him is he's super aggressive, and that leads to mistakes. And in the grand scheme of things, it's good. It's okay because if he's making plays, giving up a couple of touchdowns during the season, it'll be fun. It'll all even out.
Especially when we're up by 40.
Yeah,
because I assume we might be.
I hope so. But Josh, I want your bold prediction right now. Who's going to start safety for the Eagles week 1?
Oh, Sidney Brown.
Sidney Brown. All right, Bryce. What about you?
You're not gonna like this, Josh, but I still think it's Reed and Terrell right now.
I don't see where Terrell. Like, I don't know what his role is on this team because like he's not getting like.
He's like a sub linebacker / safety, and that's not his body type, and that's not how he's played before. But I don't know.
But he's bigger though. He is bigger.
See, I've always remembered Terrell as being smaller, but I guess he's not. I don't know.
Let's see. I don't know where I heard it from, but I heard he was big. Let me pull up his stats real quick. I mean, 6'1", 217.
Yeah, that's not tiny.
That's like a modern day linebacker.
Yeah,
almost.
Okay. The sub linebacker thing, I guess, kind of makes more sense when you bring that up. I was thinking Buddy was like 6 foot 180, like real frail and skinny, but I guess not.
But that's the thing is like I don't know where to put him at because where's he fit?
Yeah, I don't know.
So it'll be interesting. It'll be really interesting. Just to see.
I'm gonna bring this. I'm gonna bring this up because I wonder if any of y'all seen this. Over the week. I'm gonna say this right now since we're not as big of a platform yet because this might be kind of controversial. But during the week when Reed kept picking off Deshaun Watson, did y'all see the memes of like the video and clips of the Vince McMahon like talking? He said it said the Eagles defense today at practice waiting for Deshaun Watson to come out. He said, "Come on out here, you rapist."
I actually did see that.
that cracked me up every time I came across that clip because I just in my mind I think of it as Reed Blankenship saying it.
But
Oh,
he had his number. He definitely had his number this week.
Reed was balling this week.
He'll be fun to watch this season too.
He's a little bit bigger than I thought he was too. Like he's a little bit stockier.
How big is Reed? I have to look that up. But yeah, safety's gonna be fun. You got the stats.
He's about 6'1", 195.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn. I thought Buddy was like 220 the way he hits people.
Right.
Well, I mean, safety.
There's a couple of safeties in our safety room that has like reckless abandonment when it comes to their bodies. They're just throwing themselves at people.
Yeah, and that's what's going to make it fun to watch. Though is like you want to see that. But we'll wrap up safeties with this. It's gonna be fun. That's all I want to say. It's gonna be a fun season, I think. And if you're an Eagles fan, you have every reason to be like to have doubt. But I do think that this will be a fun season for safeties. I feel like they're going to play with not a care in the world. You're going to see some big hits. You're going to see some plays being made. But at the end of the day, there will be some touchdowns given up and some big plays given up. But you got to balance it out. You can't have one or the other, especially with these guys. Looking at my notes real quick, see if I missed anything. Nope, don't have anything I missed. Other than injuries suck. Specialists, let's talk about them real quick. Jake Elliott is still automatic. We are absolutely blessed to have him as a kicker. He is the greatest thing Philly has seen in a long time. He's better than David Akers ever was. I love David Akers, dude. I'm not gonna lie. Some of my earliest memories were David Akers. But it's great to have him. Especially that 1 year where it looked like he might be like a. Who do we have before him? Was it Cody Parkey?
Cody Parkey.
Yeah, where like Cody Parkey had like that one amazing year, and then he just fell off. I didn't want
who?
Before Jake Elliott.
It was not Cody Parkey.
It was.
It was Caleb Sturgis.
No, yeah. Well, I'm talking about Cody Parkey though, because like Cody Parkey was like a rookie, because he played for Auburn, I believe, right?
I think so.
Yeah. I remember we got him. He had that great year. He made a Pro Bowl. Then that next year he kind of fell off, and then we got Caleb Sturgis, and then it was Jake Elliott.
Yeah, because I remember Caleb Sturgis got hurt week 1 of like the 2016 or like 20 year, and
2017,
then 2017, yeah, and Jake Elliott came in for the Chiefs game. They set the street, and he's been with them ever since.
What a blessing! What a blessing it was.
Yeah.
So he's not going anywhere. He's the kicker of the future, the present, and the past.
Will probably be your all-time points leader before it's done for him.
Yep, he did. Very, very, very sure of it too. Punters. Aaron Sipos didn't punt a ball at all. It was
Ty Zettner the whole game. He did kickoffs too.
Yeah. Ty Zettner is garbage, and I just don't understand why the Eagles won't bring in another punter. It makes no sense to me.
The punt god's out there.
He is. He's out there. He just get him. I don't care. Just get him, because I can't. Can't
watch the Eagles lose because of special teams anymore. I can't.
So yeah, that's what I was going to say. Is that first game where Aaron Sipos shanks a punt in crunch time, where we need to pin him deep, and he just shanks it, and they get the ball at the 40-yard line. I'm going to lose it, and somebody's going to have to answer some questions, because I'm going to be really mad. I'm going to be really, really mad.
Don't let Chase in the press post-game press conference.
Yeah, don't there. So Jake Elliott, Ty Zettner. Anything anybody want to add about those guys? Any praise for Jake? Any praise for Ty Zettner?
No, I think you know what you got with Jake. Like you said, very blessed to have him. He ain't going to go nowhere for a long time. But we got some problems at punter, and that's about all there is to it. And they better figure it out quick because, like you said, Chase, I can't watch a game to where special teams, especially when it comes to punt coverage, loses us a game because I will blow a head gasket. I will lose my mind.
Josh?
Yeah, I mean, you guys said it perfectly. Grateful to have Jake. I know it's easy to take a great kicker for granted. So, sometimes you got to just appreciate what you got. But yeah, we definitely, punter's an issue. I don't think we're going to make a change before the beginning of the season.
Which is sad, man. Like
sad.
they need to recognize what a problem is.
Yeah, I mean, I hope it doesn't take us losing a game because of something like that to make a change. Or, I mean, hopefully we don't lose a game at all because of punting, but I think that's what it would take for us to make a change at this point.
Even if it's a good punt coverage has been questionable like this past year. Big punt returns from a couple of times in certain games from last year. And I think that's Michael Clay's fault, like the special teams coordinator. But at the same time, what can he do when the punter is so like when he's bad? Like, you know what I mean?
And two of his top special teamers are hurt with the same injury. So
yeah, because Zach McPherson, he was a Pro Bowler last year for special teams.
Yep. And Sean Bradley was a certified stud on special teams. Maybe I get Jake Elliott, Kelly Green. Maybe. That
actually is not a bad option.
I'm not doing that, dude. I can't. I want to, but like, I just because like I would get it. I can see it now. I'd go in the pro shop. I'd pick it up. I'm like, yeah, I got Jake Elliott. And then I'd look at like Smitty, Jalen, everybody else. I'd be like, damn, if I buy this one, I can't buy this one. Or I could buy two, but I'm not going to want to buy two. That's $260 on jerseys, man. That leaves no more room for beer and food, So, maybe I buy a knockoff jersey. Maybe.
There you go.
What were you saying?
I was gonna say you did buy two. Say you bought like, I don't know, Jalen Hurts and Jake Elliott, and you got them both hanging up in your closet. It's game day. You're going to pick out a jersey. You're not picking Jake Elliott.
I think I only pull that out if it's like last second field goal situation.
Game winning kick.
I'm like, I gotta put it on. I have to put it on.
Imagine he sinks it. You're going outside and you're
that
trash.
That jersey will not be alive there anymore.
Yeah.
At that point, just set the 130 on fire. But
Jake Elliott jersey's a luxury. Like if you have like everybody else already, it's like, all right, and you have to get another one.
If you see a Jake Elliott jersey, you're like, yeah, that guy's a fan. He has to have like a collection of jerseys. He just wore the Jake Elliott that day because he likes number 4.
Nobody's only jersey is Jake Elliott.
I mean, his family maybe, but
this conversation is gonna make me be on the lookout when we go to Philly and Tampa. Be like, does anybody have a Jake Elliott jersey on
I can tell you, in Tampa, there's not going to be a Jake Elliott jersey. In Philly, there might be a very terrible knockoff just roaming around, or maybe like a Kevin Kolb jersey that turned into a Jake Elliott jersey. Because he was around for the Kevin Kolb was around for the Kelly Greens. That was a game. I think he got hurt. And Michael Vick took over, but I guess the last part. Moving on because we got to move on. We got to wrap this up at some point. The return specialist, if you want to call him that, Justin Evans was my standout performer from that group. He honestly looked like Dion. I know that is the most ridiculous statement I've said
of all time.
Maybe not, but he looked like Dion. And Justin Evans, if you're listening out there. At some point, I'm your biggest fan, dude. Just hit me up, dude. We could talk ball all day long, man. You hit hard and you return the punt like you are an all-pro return man. The best since Devin Hester. Other than that, these guys won't ever return a punt or a kick for the Eagles. Trey Sermon was cool. Deion Kane had one return for 34 yards. That's cool. But when the regular season starts, we're all just gonna be fair catching the ball anyway. So,
yeah, unless you're Britton Covey.
Yeah, Britton Covey's not gonna return a kick.
Well, kicks, no.
He's not gonna fair catch a punt either. He's gonna get hit first.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember the first time we played Washington last year at Washington. He got lit up because he didn't want to fair catch a ball.
I think he died on the field twice that game. I think I saw him get folded like a lawn chair twice.
Felt so bad for him too because he's so small, man. He looks so tiny out there.
He has heart. He has heart.
Yeah. You know, he was he was rated one of the best returners towards the end of the year.
Yeah, because the end of the year run was pretty good, especially the Titans game he took off.
Yeah,
can't remember the exact numbers, but he had it was 15, 20, 18, 30. It was good. Yeah. It was good. I remember we came back. I came back from the bathroom and they're like, Britton Covey just returned the ball 30 yards. I was like, no way. But I guess we'll wrap this episode now. If anybody's made this far, thank you so much for listening. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you for watching. I believe we're going to record Sunday, and we're going to give our season predictions, our win-loss predictions. That'll be a fun episode. I'm curious to see where we all stand. Who holds the Eagles to a very high standard, and who has, I guess, a realistic standard. Can't guarantee I'll be the realistic one. I can
about to say, based off this episode alone.
Yeah, I can guarantee I'll. Well, never mind. But we're gonna record that. Then be on the lookout for our review episode for the Colts game, and then we're gonna record an over and under episode, which will be fun to record, and then the 53-man roster projection. And I want to do individual roster projections and see who gets the most correct. And then winner, I don't know. Person with the worst has to buy us all a beer. Sound good? All right.
Works for me.
Yep.
Enough.
All right, cool. Like I said, thank you all for watching. If you don't follow us on the socials, it's at the Linc Lineup on everything you can possibly think of. If MySpace was still a thing, we'd be on there too. But unfortunately, we're not. But X, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, you can snap me at the Linc Lineup. I can't guarantee I'll answer because I actually don't have a Snapchat. But I thank you guys for watching. If you're watching on YouTube, please like, comment, and subscribe. If you're listening to us on any type of streaming platform, give us a review. Tell us we're good at this and you enjoy it, so other people can find us as well. With that being said, hey, thanks for stopping by, and go Birds.
Go Birds.
Go Birds.